And they spell disaster for you and sacrifice.
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. Ricochet, el rey, the flea of the rest, to keep all the way.
I'm J-Beard Stereo.
And I'm Sexy Galaxy.
And today we're reviewing
I was
Lucha.
abused.
Lucha Underground Season 1's what we're doing today. It dropped in 2014 into 2015. Did you just pistol whip me?
Yes.
I'm no-selling your pistol whipping. Lucha Underground Season 1 from 2014 to 2015. We'll start with Episode 1, which opens up with Dario Cueto coming out, and...
Dario Cueto.
Dario Cueto.
It's Italian, not
So
Spanish.
we have to see, yeah, why are we doing the Dominic DeCoco? The opening about Aztecs and Dario Cueto stealing talent from AAA. And then you have the whole thing about about ancient Aztecs. Fuck my mask up.
Yes, because this is a wrestling show and not a TV show.
You have the whole idea of ancient Aztecs winding up being these lucha warriors, which I don't know enough about Aztec culture, but I'm going to call bullshit on.
Oh, I'm bullshit on this whole thing.
Great and ridiculous, which is something we're missing from wrestling. We're missing these basically high-profile characters, these characters that need a certain level of... What's the word I'm looking for? A certain level of suspension of disbelief to basically believe in. We move on to the first match of the night, after setting up the $1,000 prize for the night, and we have Blue Demon Jr. versus Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Blue Demon?
Battle of the Juniors. Chavo and Blue Demon together, they just kind of have a sloppy...
It was all on Blue Demon.
It is probably all on Blue Demon. I'm not going to speak guaranteed, but...
He like Sin Cara level boss.
He went for a Hurricanrana, like, early on in the match, and was just landing on his face.
It was just stiff.
Blue Demon, his favorite move must be slapping, because I swear to God, he's that kind of wrestler that only throws fists. And when he throws a Rana, he lands on his head, so I guess I see why. I don't feel like that was the best bet to start your show off with. If you know these two don't necessarily have good chemistry, maybe that's something you should probably put as a second match.
And they were like, the two legendary families, and I'm like...
I mean, I get...
Seem legendary.
I get what you... in the first match of the night, Chavo, who's arguably the more known of the two, winds up tapping out, and they... I'm gonna...
Tap out.
How do I word this? I'm gonna hope they do more with this later in the season, because they haven't where I currently am right now, and that's pretty close to the end, and I don't think
Why
that's...
is it in seasons?
Because it's not a wrestling. It's not wrestling. It's not wrestling. It's a television show, first and foremost.
It's the final true culmination of wrestling as a men's soap opera.
But yeah, basically, like we said, the first match was just okay. It was acceptable. It was... I'm going to be honest, the first time I watched this show, the first match sort of turned me off to the show. I watched it at your house, remember when you DVR'd it, and it wasn't really for me. And
The first match I watched was Johnny Mundo.
What, at your house?
Yeah, Johnny Mundo.
We'll move on to him in a little bit. If he was the first match, then God, I'd actually probably have gotten into the series a lot earlier. The thing that separates this show from a lot of other wrestling shows that I think honestly really gives this just a little bit more is the promos that they do for characters, the style they do them. It's done by Robert Rodriguez, so it's a very Robert Rodriguez style. It's kind of like
Robert Rodriguez, what the fuck are you doing with wrestling?
Hey,
go make more Spy Kids.
So these promos that they have in this company are just, they're a level above other promos and vignettes that you get for other characters. There's a level of grunginess, dinginess, Rodriguez-ness, I guess is the term for lack of a better one.
Just no Shark Boy or Lava Girl. Thank God.
Well, this isn't made for his kids, I hope to God. In this particular one, we start off with a Prince Puma one, already setting off the fact that I guess we can assume he's going to be the face of the company.
Wait, he's a Puma? I thought it was a Jaguar.
I was just about to bring up the quote. Go ahead, you know it better than I do. You've been quoting it all day.
The spirit animal? You guessed it. The Jaguar.
Yeah, obviously, right?
Whoa. I thought it was Prince Puma. Puma, Jaguar. They're both cats, but they're not the same cat. There's a difference.
Also, after that, we get one of Sexy Star, who we're going to see versus Son of Havoc in a few minutes. The production value on these are, like I said, a level above the rest. They really give you a little bit more for the character. She was abused. I find it weird how she's natively Spanish, yet they have her try to speak in English in one broken word promo with subtitles, despite her speaking in English, that's how broken it is. And honestly, if you're going to sub it, might as well just do it in her native tongue. And they wound up doing that later anyway, so I guess this is just kind of a failed attempt.
You had the feeling they were trying to make her read English off, like, a prompt, and it's just like she didn't know what the words meant, so she had no emotion when she was saying them.
It was her trying to... The problem was she was trying more to speak English correctly than she was to deliver words in a believable manner. Once again, maybe next time, which I guess they do anyway, so point dissolved, but... You shouldn't have...
Dario! Roberto.
Also, he pointed it out to me. Her entire promo for a wrestling vignette, her entire thing was showing her boxing.
Yeah.
Like, the entirety of it. One hurricanrana at the end to a guy in, like, an alley.
I mean, for friggin' Prince...
Which, by the way, are these all found in alleys? Is that what this is?
Watch,
alley fights.
Watch the training montage shit for Prince Puma. He's, like, doing kickboxing. And they're like, oh, this is my temple. It looks like an abandoned warehouse.
How dare you disgrace my dirty warehouse? So, like I said, we have Sexy Star versus Son of Havoc as the second match of the night. That slap from Sexy Star in the corner. He's just charging her, and you just hear...
I'm not gonna fight a woman. Bro, we all know this shit's fake. Just fight her.
We started... Wow! I take offense to that. How many years in this business have I slaved away? Taking chop after chop.
I'm just here for the money.
Oh, okay, so Batista. He charges her in the corner, and you hear one of the most, like, nasty, like, negasonic fucking cracks of a chop I have ever heard in my life. Which is obviously why they're putting her up against men.
Max Striker pushing, like, feminism propaganda on us the whole match.
Well, aside from that...
Bro, shut up. I don't want to hear it. I just want to watch this.
There is a level of, like, him repeating it ad nauseum that just kind of sits in. And
it's just like, bro, shut up. I just want to watch them kick the shit out of each other. Talk about the match.
Yeah. But then even times when he talks about the match, I just wish he wasn't there. This is absolutely Matt Striker at his best on commentating, which is a compliment, but at the same time, I guess it is...
At the same time, shut the fuck up, Matt Striker.
It is a complisalt.
Get the fuck back to Matt.
Vampiro, if I hear Vampiro say brother one more time, I'm going to put a bullet in my head. Son of Havoc goes over, despite them putting Sexy Star more over on commentary, which is actually a nice... It's a nice idea, because this way you get both of them over and nobody really loses any momentum going forward, and... They're both still fresh, basically.
There's one thing I like about her name. Sexy. Because it's true.
Chavo being bummed in the back about his loss from Blue Demon Jr. We have a whole storyline going forward where this appears to put him down like a spiraling path, I'll say, for lack of a better term. I don't want to spoil anything. We'll get there with all due time.
Like the Kane path where, you know, he's good one week, and the next week he's beating up on his friends, and then the next week he's still beating up on his friends, and then the next week he's helping his friends, and then the next week he's back to beating up on his friends.
Yeah, so you have him... Hopefully going forward this does more for him, because losing his first match, God knows that did nothing for him. The Guerrero name only pushes you so far, especially when you have a promo about you kind of distancing yourself from that. Johnny Mundo and Prince Puma are set up for the main event for tonight.
Johnny Mundo!
Obviously being John Morrison.
John Nitro.
Let it go, man. When Mercury busted his face, it was over. Let it go.
Johnny Nitro.
There's a move he does where he backflips and then turns another backflip into a setup for a Hurricanrana, which is just inhuman. You should not be able to set these moves up.
His tattoos.
The way you are. I'm gonna admit something really stupid. I didn't know that was Ricochet for a while, and he has.
And then you saw the tattoos.
Has the exact same chest. No, someone told me. Ashamedly so. Mundo's End of the World doesn't really connect right. That's the Starship Pain from WWE, the top rope split leg.
Yeah, it just like slides along the guy's stomach, and it's just like.
He barely hits the guy. Kind of goes like this.
That didn't look painful. It just looked like he sort of jumped over the guy.
Those are the type of moves you see it frequently. Just redo them. Just go for another take. It's not a big deal.
Try to make them look more legit.
Impactful, because that's supposed to be what it is. You're sacrificing your body not to skim the guy's nipples, to actually connect with him. The $100,000 that were promised at the beginning of the show, whoever were most impressed, were mimed to be given to Johnny Mundo and then taken away, and then 3-minute warning comes out of fucking nowhere. They mime giving it to Mundo, Big Rick and the crew take them out, and the briefcase of $100,000.
Big Rick with a Y.
So he hands the briefcase to Big Rick, and the episode goes out, fade to black, with them handing the money, and Dario Cueto announcing that they work for him.
What's this, Lucha? What's in Lucha?
Mexicans.
When the fuck did you get here?
I'm Stu.
My door was locked.
Not
Door was
anymore.
open.
I guess you're staying for the review, and... Did you even watch Lucha Underground? Okay. Starting episode 2, you have Big Rick and the crew in the ring. I love the fact that you have Big Rick's character just smoking a cigar on the steps while the rest of the guys fight. It's just this weird, intimidating, smoke-like aura that surrounds everyone. It's just a perfect thing for his character.
Big Rick.
Big Rick. So for the first match of the night, we have Puma and Mundo in a tag match against the crew. The crew work really well together. You could tell they're probably stuck in tag team hell because they don't have a lot of singles charisma. They have a lot more teamwork and team moves that really click together rather than just setups for their own submissions and stuff later. The best example for this was they did a rope-assisted suplex, and then as soon as he hits the ground, the other guy comes in and does a senton right onto the guy. Genius timing, genius impact. Really well done. You got anything to say about that, Stu?
It seemed to me like, a lot of action was happening. A lot of people were getting hurt, slammed into, beating each other up. It was interesting.
Yeah, that's wrestling, Stu.
Yes, I'm quite curious. I definitely want to watch more.
I feel like you're being disingenuous with that, Stu. Okay, so where were we? I think they have a lot of good teamwork together. They just kind of bore me overall. What the... Lucha rules. Overall, I don't feel like they're really going to go anywhere, and I'm kind of proven right later in the season. It just doesn't really amount to anything. They're my big complaint with them is they're played off like a great henchman team, and they just really have nothing to offer other than just as a mediocre, well-working tag team. There's this one move specifically in this match I need to call out where Ricochet sets up... Oh, you have me doing it now, you son of a bitch. Prince Puma throws one of the crew's members into the other crew's member's arm for almost like a DDT setup, then runs behind the other guy and neck breakers him, causing his partner to DDT his own partner. I just said partner like 15 times, but I hope that still... I think that still comes across as...
Senor Joe!
Logical.
So a lot of STDs are going around.
God damn it, Stu. God damn it. Alright. Yeah, anytime you have a spot of a move being set up and then the partner causing the move to be...
Retarded.
Yeah, basically. I love those. Those are perfect setups. They're just special moments that people who go to see the show can walk away and go, oh, that's something you don't see often, and it's not overused, like the Tower of Pain is now. There's a specific moment where the crew member kicks out of Johnny's finisher, which... actually, one of Johnny's finisher, because he has the End of the World, which is the split-legged corkscrew moonsault off the ropes, and then you also have the flipping neck breaker. I forgot what they call that one. But it's a flipping neck breaker, and he basically he hit it on Puma in the first episode, and it's how he beat Puma. However, he hits it on someone who's in a tag team who's not in a major slot in the company, and they kick out of it. I just thought that was an interesting thing to note. Conan plants the seeds in Puma's story for the breakup between him and Johnny's bromance that they've been forming. Which I love their chemistry. I thought they instantly set up to be those cliche anime bro.
No, he's not your friend.
Yo, he's not your friend. That's Bounce P.
Bounce P.
I love it so much.
Conan is not intimidating, nor is he funny.
Conan is hilarious, not intentionally. Come on, not intentionally
Bad
funny.
kind of funny.
I find him intimidating.
Son of a bitch. I can't work like this. Okay, so moving on to the next promo vignette backstory on someone, we get Mil Muertes.
Mil Muertes.
They basically only really say that 1,000 deaths are coming, which they've said 3 or 4 times already, and just kind of redundant promo. That moves us into the next match of the night, which is my favorite match of the night, I think. Evilise. Say it one more time for me.
Evilise.
Evilise! and Son of Havoc versus Chavo and Sexy Star. Havoc having to cheat to beat a woman is played up by the commentators, despite the commentators consistently trying to push equality. Ivelisse, she has some really good speed, kicks, power, booty.
Booty.
I do want to mention, though, there's a lot of women wrestlers that when they connect, they don't seem believable. They don't seem like they connect properly.
Like most of WWE's.
No offense to Sexy, there's times where she hits moves and they don't seem like they're really hitting. Ivelisse comes in and the first thing you see her do is Stone Cold style stomp a mud hole in someone's ass. Sexy Star.
Sasha Banks.
Imagine Sasha Banks in Lucha Underground.
The Boss.
Imagine the Boss in Lucha Underground.
That'd be awesome.
Yo, her style would fit that really well. I want to see
The Boss.
that. Yo,
What about Sasha Grey?
Sexy Star, I know I just kind of, I just buried her a little bit, but she has this one move where she, like...
Didn't bury her. You can't bury a sexy star.
You can't bury a sexy... Are you related, by the way? Since you're both sexies, does it work like the last name?
Nah, I just liked her name, so I, like, stole it.
Oh, you stole it. Tries to duck a clothesline, and she Matrix ducks it, and I thought that was just really well done. I don't know if she does this often, but if that's part of her moveset, that's shows that she has talent right there, more than anything on WWE's roster. Yeah, and arguably flexible. They really won't stop hammering the powerful female point, and as I said before, it contradicts...
Matt Stryker, shut the fuck up.
Sincerely, everybody. Now to put over the greatest wrestler that ever lived and worked for Lucha Underground, and... No bias or anything.
Ivelisse.
Son of Havoc is the absolute greatest wrestler that ever lived. His moonsaults...
I can't wait for her son.
Son of Havoc.
As someone who's watched 2 wrestling matches in total, I can full-heartedly say that Son of Havoc is the best wrestler of all time.
Well, you know what? Wow. I actually think I agree with you on that one.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, good.
That was poetry in motion.
Fuck you. There's a level of elegance and meat, which is the weirdest saying I've ever come up with in my life. Beard. That Son of Havoc has. His
And
moonsaults.
bondage pants.
Sorry. Chavo hits... Suavo Herrero hits his uncle's finisher and tags in Sexy Star so she can get her revenge on the greatest wrestler that ever lived.
With the best Swift tag I've ever seen. Just
Swift tag.
Just
Yeah.
Just
Now I feel like I got some Suavo in me now. After this match, we get introduced. We see Blue Demon Jr. in the back. We see Katrina. We see Katrina walk up.
It is Katrina?
It is Katrina.
Not
It is Katrina.
Not Catalina Weinmixer.
The fucking Katarina wine liquor. She grabs Blue Demon by the face and says, "You will die. You will soon know the pain of 1,000 deaths." And then just flat out just licks his face.
Well, his mask, but still, his face.
Regardless.
Yeah.
What?
That just happens in Tijuana. I don't know if you've ever been there.
We get another more in-depth shot of Puma. This is where we find out he's a descendant of the Aztec tribe, quote unquote. That being said, there's some stupid things about these promos, like the Jaguar point, like the stuff like that. Some of Conan's acting. You have to fight. You have to fight just like you did on the streets.
Yeah, the streets of PWG.
It's bad, but at the same time, I still think it kind of is. There's a level of awesome. From there, we have Blue Demon Jr. and Mil Muertes with Katrina in their debut. Mil Muertes, his entrance is just a very powerful, intimidating. The music is pounding. His body is disgustingly large. Katrina is basically a temptress of death.
He's Bane.
He's basically what I'm saying. He's Bane.
He grew up in an area that got hit by a, what was it, 5-something earthquake?
Yeah, some sort of
and then
disaster.
he changed his name to Mil Muertes when he was like 9.
His name was Pascual de Marco or something like that.
He did not fear the earthquake. This 9-year-old child did not fear the
I
earthquake.
thought this kid is my son.
Yeah. Good for him. I'm glad he made something of his life.
Okay, now I want to boo for the guy. Mills, despite Mills' music and his presence, he looks like a steroid turkey. That fucking one specific piece of his headdress is just... his style is pretty much that of a regular, like, meat brawler. Just punches, kicks, knees.
Meat.
Meat.
Like Taz flavored meatball.
So, end of the match, you have Chavo who comes to the ring. Blue Demon looks like he's about to get 1,000 deaths. And you have him come in and you have him make the save. And he stays in the ring way too long, kind of telegraphs the heel turn a little bit too much, and we have the fastest Guerrero heel turn in the history of... What are you...
This is actually my favorite part of the episode. El Chapo goes on a murdering spree with a chair, and he looks...
His name is Chavo!
El Chapo. Anyway,
God damn it.
El Chapo looks more like a murderer than Mildeth or whatever his name is. So I really...
It's Mil Muertes, and it stands for death. 1,000 deaths.
I really like this scene.
Mierda.
And that's shit. Which stands for my mood right now. So we start episode 3. You're still here?
I ain't going anywhere.
Oh, God.
Hey, Stu's cool, man.
Oh, God damn it. So we have the introduction of the greatest... Oh, wait, no, it's not. Son of... A gun? Don Mariachi Loco versus Mascarita Sagrada. All of Mariachi's moves look impactful because they're being done on a, let's face it, a smaller guy. And despite that, the guy still doesn't get over. Mascarita Sagrada winds up pinning him in a really decent Rana pin.
I think smaller guy is a bit of an understatement. I think he is a clinical midget.
I'm gonna get in trouble for that one, Stu. Thanks. Mascarita's Tornado DDT is just fucking gross.
Mascarita.
And from that, he pulls out the victory. Chavo comes out and takes out Mascarita in the nastiest big boot I've ever seen in my life.
He like just comes out and just kicks him in the face after beating up everyone else.
Guerrero's promo after this with Vampiro is just... I think it's a really well done promo. It's probably the best of Chavo's career that I've seen at least.
Vampiro was wearing a fucking like nice hat over a bandana.
I like the one he did with Sean Penn.
What? Sean... Are you thinking of the same guy we're thinking of?
El Chapo, right?
His name is Chavo! So, the Vampiro promo is just really well done. It shows the compassion. It shows the passion he has for the business. It shows him trying to distance himself from the Guerrero name. It shows any complaint you could possibly have from him as a person. It just really shows that he's gonna probably be a driving force, and he probably won't be going on from what I've seen. It's kind of weird.
You want violence? I'll give you violence.
And my favorite, violence! After that promo, we get this is a Chavo-heavy episode, I guess, since we don't get a lot of him later. He comes out, winds up getting the lick of death after talking with Conan in the hallway.
Conan!
I have 2 notes for this next match because it's Ricky Mandel, a guy that I don't know and is already in the ring, versus Mil Muertes. I have 2 notes for a reason. Before the match, we get the Rebel story for Mil Mascaras. Actually, a really nice backstory. We talked a little bit about it before, him being a kid, not being scared of this seismic disturbance that basically kills thousands of people, buried him in rubble, and just basically took a piece of it, grew up. Used to be Patrick Pasquale, whatever the fuck it was, Mendoza. Now he is Mil Muertes. The spear from Mil against Ricky Mandel is just disgusting. It is the closest thing to quote JR, to a car crash that I've ever seen in my life. It is repulsive.
Like a car crash.
Flatliner for the win.
He's dead! He's dead!
Flatliner for the win. Katrina licks him to finish the match. That's never going to come out natural to me. And then we get the greatest call in the history of commentary by Matt Stryker. That turn anyone else on? Am I weird?
No.
You're the man.
You're not alone.
No, now I like you as a commentator.
Come from the guy who was harping on the, yo, women can beat up men.
Yeah, wow, interesting. Mundo versus the crew in the hallway leading into Dario's office in toward the end of this episode, where it's literally just a cliche action line delivery back and forth.
He just starts beating the fuck out. He's just shirtless and in jeans, just beating the fuck out of guys in the hallway.
You just see one fall through the door from Dario's perspective, like the cliche 80s action scene.
That doesn't happen to you regularly?
Yo.
No.
I find myself shirtless in jeans.
Because I'm a man. I fight in the ring, Stu. Stop dishonoring my business.
It's all in the past. It's all in the past.
Well,
Just remember, Stu. He's gonna beat the fuck out of you. But it's all in the past.
Mundo asks for Big Rick, then threatens him after saying it's all in the past. Good segues. Just don't think it works like that. Robert Rodriguez has these weird...
When it's done, I'm coming for you. The fuck? No, fuck you. You don't get Rick now, huh?
yeah, you know you didn't sign a contract yet, you dumb motherfucker. Instead of a third, because we get a third Puma backstory, instead of a third Puma backstory in 3 episodes, couldn't we get one for Son of Havoc, or Ivelisse, or any of the other people we've seen?
Ivelisse.
Any of them could have easily had a backstory.
What's her name? That
I'm pretty sure Son of Havoc's was Mad Max.
Yo, friggin' what was the announcer's name? The girl who's animated as fuck.
I have no idea what her name is, but I said it, I'll say it again. I want her to narrate my life. He is going to the bathroom! We have Drago versus Pentagon Jr. versus Phoenix.
Drago.
Drago
mouth.
You get a lot of high flying action, you get a lot of high intense speed.
The best match of the night.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. That's probably the match of the night. Pretty easily, actually.
Why is he called Pentagon?
Pentagon Jr. I vaguely remember hearing that...
What's all the fucking juniors in this show?
I vaguely remember hearing that the reason he's Pentagon Jr. is to make fun of Octagon and Octagon Jr.
Oh, right?
Why do we have a 13 courtyard? One of those things from Zelda and a chicken all fighting in the ring. This is Mexican wrestling, right?
Fucking Octorok.
Octorok.
It's called Lucha. It's not called Mexican wrestling. And in all fairness, all 3 of those things were in the match. I'll give you that's a fair point. But you're on thin fucking ice. Matt Stryker in this match calls a sling blade a nice little Tanahashi there.
LOL, Tanahashi wins.
Phoenix with a flying crossbody off of Dario Cueto's office in what is going to be probably the most copied spot throughout the season. Call me a dick, I kind of like Angelico's later, or Angelico, however you pronounce that. Package pile driver into a sit-out pile driver.
That man's dead.
That poor fuck. Was that Drago who took that, I think? Poor Drago.
He's dead.
That man is... No wonder his tongue comes all the way. It's not his tongue, it's his fucking spine. Cue into a weird room where we see Dario Cueto basically telling Johnny Mundo from the beginning of the episode, or midway through the episode, whatever it was. He basically is saying, you will not intimidate me. I will not be intimidated by nobody. And while you're hearing that, you see this cell, and you hear this really heavy breathing at the end. Not even by you. And then the show goes off the air. We question what the fuck that is.
No, it's like his brother.
Yeah, yes, it is his brother. I said that much to you, but you don't know what his brother is.
I do know what his brother is. A Mexican.
It's actually a pretty safe bet. Although I've seen him eat a man's face. Spoiler alert.
Doesn't he?
He eats someone's face! That happens!
Rodriguezism.
I swear I'm not lying to you. He eats someone's face. We go out with that and we'll see...
It fell.
You've been unmasked! This is my mask. I am Pentagon Jr. and we will see you next week.